job.
Thirsty.
Good job.
Just water?
Yeah, for now. For now.
What
Need to
happened?
rehydrate first before I get on to the other stuff.
First of all, how do you enjoy the last race for McLaren?
I'm certainly relieved to have a race like that. You know, I felt if the season ended last week with, you know, obviously a lap one crash retirement, that would have, it would have just left like a sour taste, I think. So to see a checkered flag, to be in the points, to hold off Vettel, that kind of made me happy. As much as I love the kid, it was nice to hold him off, and just obviously just have one last little battle with him. So, I feel a little more fulfilled now.
Lovely.
2 really good races in the last 3.
Yeah.
Anyway, are you thinking you made the right decision to step out for a year?
Yeah. I don't get me wrong. Like during the summer break and when everything went down, I was still with eyes set on being on the grid for 23, and we got into the first few, well, it was a triple header, and kind of through that triple header, I was starting to question it more and more. The view of 23, and then it just became more and more clear that I do want the time off, and just to get it for myself, and just to truly love it, to the level it should be. It should be overflowing with love, not brimming, overflowing, and that's what I want to get back. So then people ask, it wasn't necessarily about Haas, Williams, it was just about me having the time off and taking a year out.
Okay, so for the first time in a very long time in your life, season's done. You don't have a commitment. You don't have anything to worry
Nice.
about.
I'm pretty
right?
stoked.
I know this feeling. It's a great feeling. But so let me say, no, we're not worried about what you're doing next year or any of that stuff. What are you doing tomorrow? What are you doing for the next couple? What is Daniel Ricciardo going to do first now that he doesn't have to worry about Formula One next year? Are you going on vacation?
Yeah.
Are you just going to go back to LA? What are you going? Yeah.
It'd be just eventually just go. I say eventually, in a couple of weeks, get back to Australia and just hang out with friends, family, just without, even when I go home for Christmas and hang out, you're still a little bit reserved with how much you can let your hair down, enjoy yourself, because I can't eat too much because then I got too much work to do in January to get back in shape and whatever. So you're never really fully letting your hair down. So just to kind of have that, I think will already feel a little nice and a little, refreshing. That's kind of that stuff. Just be a boy again.
Yeah. Gonna go blow out.
Well, the crazy thing
It's worth it. It shows up 20 pounds heavier next year.
The weird thing is, I've actually struggled to keep weight on the last 18, 24 months. So maybe it's the stress of racing. So I hope to put on a few kilos, but I don't know. I feel if I could have, I probably would have.
Okay, so quick follow-up then. When are we going to get you to come out to an IndyCar race just to check it out, to see it?
I do have plans to be a spectator at an Indy, a NASCAR race. I've never been to Talladega, so I'd love to get out there for NASCAR. And a lot of the Indy guys message me you'd love it here. So I said, look, probably not behind the wheel, but as a spectator, I think I'll check it out.
I think they all have shares in it, don't they? Everyone's
Yeah,
going to get people in
gotta
Indy.
go.
Yeah, I mean, I've obviously watched it on TV, and it's awesome racing.
And
I
you
do
know
enjoy.
you can just do road and street courses. You
I
don't
know.
have to do ovals.
The ovals.
Just test one.
Right?
Just come for a drive. And
There was a
decide.
Ganassi seat with your name on it for next year. Literally opened up.
I don't want to
Perfect.
race. I didn't
Take the time
I
off.
need a break. I need
Take
a
the
break.
time off. Just come check out a couple races.
I'll
We'll go
check it
from
out.
there. Deal.
I'm sure you'll see me there as a fanboy.
We joked earlier this season that you could come and host this show if you weren't racing in
Monza.
2023.
Monza
It was in Monza, and it was tongue-in-cheek because none of us wanted to see a situation where you weren't racing. The producer's just saying we'd love you on the show, but it feels like this is something that you need to do and something that you want to do to take the time off, rather than it happening to you. It's something that you actually feel you genuinely need to get back to your best and who you properly are.
Yeah, exactly. I feel, as hard as the situation was, initially when I heard the news I wouldn't be racing next year, I then was like, okay, I think actually this is maybe a blessing in disguise. I feel like I'm not that intense or deep, but I also feel like everything happens for a reason. And I was it became more and more clear to me, okay, this is actually going to be the best thing. And that's why like it's not about just being on the grid and being an F1 driver. It's like if I'm on the grid, I want to be the best version of myself possible, and I'm not convinced I would be if I jump back in a seat in 23. So that's why this time could get me back to where I know I can be.
2 quick ones. Have you signed the Red Bull deal yet?
Very close.
Great.
It's unless something crazy happens, it should get done. But of course, I can't be like it's done until it is done.
And secondly,
that's the likely place I'll be.
this isn't it, is it?
I don't believe it is. I think when the lights go out next year and I'm watching as a fan, part of me hopes that I feel a lot of rage and anger, and then I'll have my answer.
Lovely.
Cheers. Thank you,
Have a good
guys.
winter, man.
Thank you.
Thanks, buddy.
Cheers, mate.
Congrats.